Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jackie? Great to see you again.
Nice to see your face. It's been a really long time. I'm so happy to say that it looks like you're at the Toronto Humane Society today in shelter and you're
I
masked
am.
up.
I'm masked up. I'm here, and it's really, really nice to be back and just see some familiar faces as well as some sweet animals. Although we have few animals in shelter right now, it's really nice to still get to see the few that we do have.
Awesome. I'm curious. So does that mean that a lot of them were adopted out? Because I know pet adoptions, from what I've been hearing, are way up because people are home and have the time to take care of a new kitty or a new dog or a senior. Is the shelter empty because of positive adoption, or are they all sitting in foster?
That's a great question, Jackie. So the majority of the pets we have right now are in foster homes. So they're in temporary homes, living out, their best lives until they can find their adoptive home and or return to shelter for pickup for a different foster. So we do have animals who've been adopted through our digital adoptions program, but the majority of them are sitting in foster homes right now as we wait to see once things start opening back up.
So, question, and I don't know if you know the answer to it, but are they in fosters out of necessity, like because you're trying to you know, reduce the amount of time and people and bodies in the center, or is it because they weren't adopted and it's better to be somewhere comfortable? Like, I'm just trying to understand it because I don't have insight without
Yeah,
being in the shelter and seeing you. What's going on? Tell people
I
who are
know.
watching this. Tell me what's going on.
Absolutely. So what's going on is that we do want to maintain the government recommended social distancing. So in order for us to do that in shelter while we still have animal care workers, volunteers, our medical staff working with the animals, is we have had to send the majority of them to foster homes.
Okay.
So there's an incredible amount of interest in all of our animals right now. Since closure, we've actually seen over 10,000 applications for adoption.
Wow. Wow.
So there's definitely interest, but the out of necessity in the sense of COVID, once that happened, there was a lot of limitations around how many people can be inside of a building, how many can come and go, and we had to divide everyone into different cohorts and on a skeleton schedule. So we definitely wanted to, the safest thing to do was to put them all into wonderful, loving temporary homes.
So who's left there then? Is it animals that are in need of really high attention from the veterinary side, or?
Some are on medical watch from our vet in our clinic. Some animals that are still here are animals who are actually waiting for pickup. So animals who
Yay.
have adopters line up, yep, and then they're waiting for that moment where they get to do the trade-off, the curbside pickup of their pet.
Oh,
Um,
is that
so
what it
there's
is? Is that seriously what it looks like these days?
Yeah, so the adoption agent will come out and go over or hand off the paperwork, and they do it in a socially distant manner, and they'll move through the same standard process that you would if it was in person, but just with the applied social distancing measures in place. So it's pretty fascinating. A lot has changed, but you still get the same quality of information when it comes to the interview process and the meet and greet. You're still getting the same resources and expertise that you would through our regular
I
process.
have no doubt about that, knowing what goes on at the Toronto Humane Society, no doubt about it. And it is really unusual times. But I'm deep down, I'm super happy to see some of the animals because it can be a stressful environment, right? As wonderful as it is there and the attention that they get, there is a difference between, all of that barking and the stress and those lights and not being on a comfy couch. Hopefully,
Yeah.
people would. I'm hoping secretly that they're all cuddled up on their foster sofas or beds or by the
Oh,
feet of someone that is loving on them.
yeah.
Um, I'm sure that that's what's happening. Now, how
Yes.
are you guys
Yeah.
going through all these applications? Like that must be super labor intensive because there is a quality of care that goes into reviewing and due diligence that goes into reviewing every applicant. I know that from
Right.
personal experience, right? There's personal references that have to be had. There's an interview process that has to be had. There's vet checks that have to be uh, done. So who's going through all of that?
Yeah, so it's actually, so at our shelter through our process, we don't actually require the vet checks or the personal references, which is nice. So
Okay.
it's removing a barrier of adoption that sometimes is put up when you do go to adopt.
Okay.
But we did revise our adoptions process, so just to help with being more transparent with the public, so the public knows real time, live time, when they can book an appointment. We wanted to find a way to just have that information accessible. So the new process as it stands is you go onto our website and you check for an available appointment time for your interview. And within 48 hours from that time, you can be booking an interview so long that there is an opening. So we recommend, if people don't hear back, or if they don't see if there's an opening available, then they check back in the next morning. And from that point on, then you've started your adoptions process. And that can all be found on our website, which is www.torontohumanesociety.com. And you can get started right there.
And we'll put that in the post. So first they come in for an interview, and not to meet a pet. So they're not coming in because they want to adopt Sally or, you know, little Freckles or whoever. They're doing that interview at the onset to ensure that they are approved in a suitable home, and, you know, that it's in their best interest as well to adopt. And later, what happens? Are they then paired up with someone, or is it then once they're approved as a home that they're watching for someone that, you know, catches their eye, a little boy or girl, or, you know, older girl or an older boy? Like, what is that what happens?
Yeah, good question. So the way that it's run right now, it's all digital. So everything is online. So if someone is interested in adopting, whether it be a cat, a dog, a guinea pig, whomever is interesting to them,
Yeah, let's
a
not
rabbit,
adorable. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we have a chinchilla right now, a chinchilla or a lizard. Yeah, so if anyone is interested in adopting in general, you would check for an available appointment time.
Okay.
And you would include your top, say, 3 animals that you're interested in. If you're interested in Fluffy, in Timbit, and War Turtle, for example. These are some animals you have. So those guys, you write their names down, and then we'd have conversations at the interview process about those animals. And from that conversation, just being open with the adopters being open with us, we really start to begin to understand naturally and organically just who is more a better fit for the person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you kind of navigate through what their needs are, what their wants are, and then can find a way to match make, almost like a dating service with the animals.
Can I say something to people who are animal lovers or anybody looking to adopt, just like a selfish side? I know this is not Humane Society speak. This is from me, Jackie. We tend to fall in love with the little faces we see online, and we kind of get tunnel vision. I've done this before, so I'm nodding my head and I'm taking ownership. I've done it where you're like, oh, I see this cute one. Oh, it's Pepper, or it's, you know, Buttons, or whoever it is. And I think that, you know, our hearts get set on an animal based on that. But I will tell you from experience that there are still other loving animals who may not look the way that you intended. You know, that maybe it's not a tortoiseshell, maybe it's not a, you know, a gray tabby, and it's a different coloring or breed. I would say that it's important for people who are looking to adopt to keep their options open there. I can say from experience, I've gone in looking for a specific type of animal to adopt or pet, and then I've been surprised to meet a personality that was just wonderful, or another animal in need. And I was like, you know what, this little guy or girl needs me. And so I would just say to people who are thinking about adopting, just keep your heart open and your options open.
Beautiful,
Right?
Jackie. Yeah, because sometimes they surprise you, and
They do.
you know, you're looking and you're like, oh, I wouldn't even have thought about that one, but that looks like it turns out they'd be a great fit once you learn more about them.
Yes, and if you're open to meeting them, I think that, you know, you'll know quickly if they're a good match in terms of personality fit or breed or size or what have you. But if we're stuck so much on just, I'm looking for a brown lab, or I'm looking for only a cockapoo that's white, or whatever. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there because I had that preconceived want. And I think if you kind of let it go and you're open to helping an animal in need, what is the saying? He rescued me, not I rescued him. It's so true. If you're a house of animals who've been rescued, you know that adage is so true, that they do really rescue you.
They do, yeah.
So tell me who's actually in need right now, who needs our attention, who needs, you know, us to talk about them. Is there an animal that comes to mind, whether it's a dog or a cat or a chinchilla or whatever? Is there an animal specifically with high needs, or a senior that we want to get into a permanent home? Is there somebody specifically, or do you want to just redirect to the website? You know, I'm happy to give you a form to speak for someone who really, or a bunch of little ones who need some help. Are there bond shares? Like, you know, some of us are thinking about one, but then sometimes two is just like having one, because they keep each other company, they keep each other entertained. And if they've been together, it's better to keep them together than to have, you know, anxiety created when animals are separated from their their BFFs.
Yeah. Yeah, or their siblings, whoever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got lots of animals. We do have quite a few seniors. So
Okay.
definitely I think that's defer to the website for our cats, because we do have a long list of seniors who could still use permanent forever homes. So our seniors are naturally the ones who stay in shelter for longest. Kittens and puppies, once they hit the floor, they are gone like hotcakes. So it's we always try to get the messaging out there for our seniors that if you can give a home to a senior, they're wonderful, they're loving, they're affectionate, they can be just like a kitten, and they still need a home as well. But a dog that comes to mind, just that's been with us for a while, is Scotty. And Scotty is one of our long stays, and
Okay.
she does have some behavioral quirks, and so he's going to need
So
someone
do
who's,
I. So do I. And I
as
found
we
a good
all do.
home.
Yeah, exactly. So
Aw.
he's going to need someone who's a little more savvy when it comes to understanding canine body language, respecting boundaries, maybe a little bit more of a specific home for him, just because he does have some quirks, as you call them. So he's one of our TLC dogs, where he needs a little bit more tentative love and care, just to help him really flourish. And he's made incredible progress. So for those who are interested to learn more, because there's lots to learn about Scotty, is on our website again, which Jackie will have linked, and then
He
you can
sounds
take a
handsome.
look.
I picture this little man wearing a bow tie going somewhere.
He would look so good in a bow tie. He's like
Oh,
a, yeah, he's like a gray. He's the first photo on our dog's page on our website, but he's like gray, and he's got a short coat and a beautiful big head. So he's a
what is he?
sweet
Is
boy.
he a small breed? Is he a medium? Is he a large breed? What is he? Do we know
He's
anything?
about, yeah, medium to large, I would say. He's a mixed breed.
So we want an experienced handler, right?
Yeah,
Someone
so,
with some
someone
experience.
for sure, or even someone who's just, willing and open to taking things slow with him, and really applying positive reinforcement, structure, routine, consistency, praise, reward. Committing to that is where Scotty flourishes. And so if you can provide him with the same training plan and routines that we've seen work in the shelter, then you're setting him up for optimal success.
He needs a stable home, sounds like. Yes?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll
And those are
recommend
the best. Go ahead. Sorry. Go, go, go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we'll recommend also maybe kids who are older, if there are kids involved who understand how to handle animals and not to be inappropriately handling, and or parents who are willing to supervise quite intensely to make sure that Scotty's boundaries are not being pushed.
Okay. Like anybody, he would appreciate some boundaries. Okay. How long has he been in shelter? Can I ask? Has it been a really
I think it's been about a year now. I'd have to double check though, Jackie, to be honest. But it's been quite some time. He's been in and out of foster, and so he's ready for his forever home.
Okay. And whoever adopts him, bow ties. I'll find bow ties and I'll send them your way.
Oh, that'd be cute.
And is there support for somebody, let's say like Scotty, like is there a support system that the Toronto Humane Society has that they can lend to an adopter, or how does it work? Are you guys, once the adoption is formalized, is it up to the owner to take it from there? Or tell me what's there to set someone up for success?
Yeah, that's a great question, because definitely for dogs such as Scotty or one of our TLC animals, we want to make sure that the first couple of days are smooth and that you've got communication with us, open communication in case anything happens. So for Scotty in particular, he will get 4 free in-home training classes.
Amazing.
So
That's
yes,
amazing.
so
That's
he is
amazing.
going to have those set up so that the adopter knows that they will have ongoing support for at least four sessions.
Okay.
And then if there's any issues ongoing, then of course they are welcome to reach out and contact us like any adopter is. We do what we can with what we have to be able to help all of our animals stay in their homes, to create those lasting bonds and the right supports to provide that environment. And we also have our pet parent support network too now. So this is a database where people can work through if they have any question at all, and it'll direct them to the right resource. And so that resource might mean for Scotty a follow-up behavior modification session or another in-home virtual consultation, whatever the case is.
Training. So training and support to make sure he succeeds.
Exactly, yes.
Great. And do you know how old he is?
Scotty, I think, is around 2, if I'm not mistaken.
So young. So he really, like, these are the things that we hear about on the internet that we're inundated with, or if you're like me, you watch the dodo. These are the stories that make me bawl, right? The ones that come and it's like, he was overlooked. He was, for whatever reason, he had his issues in the past. We all have issues from the past, but someone would be able to really work successfully to rehabilitate him so that he is comfortable. Because a lot
Yeah.
of that, there's stories that follow them. There's anxiety there for animals too that come with that, right? Nobody likes to,
Yeah.
to have those issues. So let's hope that this video can get him some attention. I'd love it, Hannah, if you would send us a photo of him so we could
I
also
will.
cross promote him that way and see if he can find a home.
Amazing. Yes, I will.
Like, it's freaking, what are we? We're end of October, man. Let's find him a home before Christmas, really.
It'd be amazing. It'd be
It's so
amazing.
unfair. And for the seniors too, for the senior cats, really, like, I've been to your shelter so many times. It's beautiful, it's clean, it's well tended to. The volunteers are world class. They're
Yeah.
unbelievable. They're all different ages. I see young people, I see middle age, I see
Yeah.
seniors. They really love and care for these animals, but
Yeah.
nothing replaces a warm, comfortable home
Yeah.
with someone who is going to really give an animal the attention that they deserve. And as seniors, really, those are the ones that bother me the most, where I see them sort of comfortable in their environment but left, but it's like they really should be sitting on a warm bed of their own, whether it's a pet bed or a human bed, but really those pull at the heartstrings.
That's right.
So let's
Yep.
get Scotty and the senior cats out of the shelter environment ASAP.
I love it, Jackie. I love the confidence in that, because it is true. No matter how well a shelter is run, and our shelter, like you mentioned, is run with world-class enrichment, it's still not a home. It's never going to be a home, and so it's always a temporary home. We can make their stay as comfortable as possible while they're with us, but that's never the end goal. Is for them to stay here. The end goal is for them to be in their forever home. It's like those dating apps that say the end goal is for this app to be deleted. Our goal is to send them off into their favorite home and for them to be there forever.
Exactly. And I would say that, if you're scouring the Toronto Humane Society daily in search of a kitten or a puppy, as I can say this, and I'm happy to take any heat from anyone who wants to give it, but if you're looking for a kitten, I'm going to say they're busy, they're rambunctious, they're full of life, which is wonderful, but there is something about a more mature cat, and I hate calling them seniors, but like a mature cat who is, more confident in their personality and more laid back. There are different pluses and minuses that go with that for certain families. So kitties are not for everyone. Same with puppies. A mature, stable dog that is seeking your attention and affection is, still sitting in the shelter environment, and maybe they're 3 or 5 or 7 or 12 or 14 or 16. We all deserve that. And if COVID's taught us anything, it's to take care of our seniors. So I'm going to say that applies to our animals as well.
That's beautiful. Well said, Jackie.
What do you guys need help with? How is the food bank working out? What's going on? There's a lot of families under an immense amount of economic pressure in our city here. I don't really want to talk about animals that have been turned in or brought to shelter because, people are not able. I think we'll save that for another week. I want to talk about, stuff that we can help you with. What is the state of the food bank? Is it open?
It is open, and it's been open since beginning of COVID. So we never shut that service down for many reasons. Right now, we know that a lot of people are facing more financial hardships than ever before, and so it's a service that is even more essential. We also understand that pets need to eat 365 days a year, whether there's a quarantine going on, a pandemic going on or not. That their tummies need to be filled. And at the end of the day, if they aren't being filled, then the owner might be faced with the very challenging decision to potentially have to surrender that animal. And so that service has been running the entire time. We are always accepting donations for our food bank. We love donations for our food bank because it services the entire community of Toronto and their pets.
And it's questions asked, right? Like, people can walk in and pick up something that they need, no questions asked, or how does it work?
No questions asked at all. We if someone comes to us in need, then we provide them with a service, and that's our rule of thumb. We want to make sure that people know that they can come to us without that added element of judgment. The very last thing you want when you're going to help your pet or going to someone and asking for help for your pet is to be faced with shame or feeling guilty or feeling like you're not doing anything for that animal. You can't help that animal when really you're going and turning to someone for help for that animal. So we no judgment. We're very, very comfortable with all different walks of life coming and utilizing our food bank. That's why we have it. And our staff are trained on how to also be open-minded. It's a part of our open adoptions philosophy as well.
And
so
do they call in if they need to access the food, but how does that work right now?
You can just pop in, you can drop in anytime to access the food bank if you're in need of food during our operating hours. So you can also come outside of them, and on the off chance a security guard is there, they can provide you with food, but we recommend within those hours. And then other need within the shelter that people are welcome to support is, of course, monetary. We are always taking monetary donations, but also donations of supplies. So bedding, different types of dog toys, dog beds. We're really taking it all: sheets, towels, you name it, the standard stuff. Yeah.
Power supplies, are they low? Like, I think everyone's we're all busy and we're preoccupied, right, with COVID, and we're preoccupied with everything else that's happening in today's society, especially this year. 2020 has been a really challenging year. But I encourage people watching this, I know that me buying something for $100 doesn't go as far as the Toronto Humane Society buying something with the $100, let's say, or $20, whatever the monetary amount, $5, whatever it is that someone could comfortably give. But I think donations in cash are better than bringing supplies down. Am I right about that? As always, like, does your dollar go further than mine does when you're buying stuff wholesale or, from on bulk, en masse?
Right. I hear what you're saying, and to be honest with you, Jackie, I think it's above my understanding of what. Okay. To be honest with you, so what I will say in response to that is whatever you can give, we are so appreciative of. So whether that is, like you mentioned, $5, whatever you can give, $5, great. If you can give one hand towel that you're getting rid of, you don't need anymore, and we can use to clean up one of our kitten areas, then great. So it really. Yeah, it's a good question. Does monetary count more than physical supplies? I personally don't know, but I would say whatever people can give, then
you're happy with.
Yeah.
So, well, the last time we did this, we had a very generous Jane Copeland. I'm going to call her out. Jane Copeland messaged me and said, we have a bunch of stuff we can donate. And it was from Loblaw. So
that's
very,
great.
really, really, really heartfelt shout out to her, because she didn't have to do that. It could have gone to a bunch of different charities. It came to you guys.
Yes.
I have to say, I'm so thankful for that. I'm sure you guys are thankful for that. And I'm going to say to someone, if you guys have something to donate and you're watching this and you want us to help you get it to the Toronto Humane Society because you're unable, incapable, whatever it is, we don't even need an excuse. Just direct message us and let us know what it is, and we can do a contact-free pickup. You can leave them at, on your driveway. You can leave them on your porch, wherever you'd like. We'd be happy to bring supplies to you guys. Whenever, however, just let us know. But yeah, I would really like it. I think, some families are having a really hard time, and other families, things are very much the same financially, and we're not spending on going out to dinners with our kids because there's nowhere we can really go. So I would encourage everyone to think about that. And something else we've never really talked about, but there is a way for people to actually, I was talking to a client about it who has, is considering making a donation once she is no longer around to charities. And that's something that can be done, right? People can will the Toronto Humane Society if they don't have next of kin, or if they make a choice to donate. So those are things to consider too. There's lots of ways to engage today and beyond. So I'm going to say right now, if anyone has anything to donate, kibble, kitty food, towels, bedding, toys, anything, direct message us, and I'll make arrangements with you, Hannah, to bring it down like we did last time. Litter, do you need litter? You guys must use litter by the time.
We can always use litter, and clumping litter is often we like more because it's just easier to, you have cats, it's just easier to scoop. There's nothing like scooping some non-clumping litter.
Yeah. Clumping litter is where it's at. And the ones that are for multi-cat too, because I'm sure some of your fosters are not just fostering one kitty, they're probably, fostering multiples.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what else can we talk about? Is there anything that's important that you want people to watch, or are we going to wrap this up? You tell me. What's important that you need people to know and hear that is, you're standing in shelter. What's going on? Anything else that's really important and pressing?
I think just, you've kind of summed it up wonderfully, Jackie. We are always, again, taking donations, and we are always, always, always looking for support. So if anyone is watching this and has a creative way that they want to help out an animal in need, then absolutely reach out to Jackie or directly to us at Toronto Humane Society. And we're always open to hearing new ways that we can help more animals in need and just maximize our life-saving capacity. So our website I know will be linked. And so you can definitely click on that and check out all the animals that we have in foster homes, because they'll have photos up there. And if you're interested in an adoption, you can also take a look at our process and get that ball rolling too.
And there's little fundraisers that are on the website that I would say are really important too, right? In lieu of a birthday gift or a Christmas gift, I think Christmas is going to look, and the holidays are going to look really different for a lot of families.
Yeah.
What you can do is direct your friends instead of, buying a gift. There's not really a lot of places to go and shop or spend, these days, truthfully. I think it's a lovely thing when we're selfless about celebrations or special occasions these days. And I think you guys really need it. I want to say thank you to all of you. I'm sure you guys are thankful every single day and praise your network of volunteers and staff members and everybody that's physically standing in shelter and working under what is still stressful times. Just because the animals are not there, it doesn't mean that it's a stress-free environment. It just means you've got more bodies, more people helping in a bunch of different places. But as always, I want to thank you. I'm sure that it has not been an easy time for you as well. But I love the vegan mask. If anyone is reading like the paramedic thing when in the back of your rear view, it does say vegan. Are you vegan?
I am, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Am. We'll get vegan food when this is all over.
I know. Honestly, I'm so excited and so looking forward to actually more human interaction than what I'm getting and actually eating a meal. So yes, vegan on me when this is over. Yay. But in the meantime, thank you. And please do send us a photo of little Scotty.
I will, yeah.
Let's get him out of shelter and into a home. So as much as you can tell me about him, and especially his cutie patootie headshot.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jackie. And thank you for always the ongoing support and all of our supporters. We are so appreciative of all of you guys for helping keep our doors open. Well, limitedly open during quarantine, but we appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great one, Hannah. Thank you so much for your time today.
Okay. We'll talk to you soon, Jackie.
Bye. Bye-bye.